to check on our girls and see if we're going to be dealing with kids. I'm just going to grab my jacket. Because it's not even that cold out, guys. It's like 30. It's like 30, so I'm just in a sweatshirt. But I am putting my jacket on. Alright. So yesterday, we were looking at a few doughs. Who were we looking at? Flaxseed. We were looking at flaxseed. We were looking at Heartland. Excuse me. Who else were we looking at? Okay. Guys, I'm a little sore this morning. Okay. So, we've got Timepiece and Zetra over here eating breakfast. We've got Xandra chilling here. Slept and chewing cud. Farley's chewing cud. Slender's chilling. Villette is eating. Zelina's sitting there being Zelina. Sesame's here chilling. We've got Madrigal outside. We've got Victoria outside over by the milk doors. Zilla's chilling. T-Time's gonna come over here so she can get some scratches. Yeah, hey, sweetie. Morning, Marsha. Morning, Barbara. Vignet's eating. Faye's over there grunting, but chewing her cud while she does it. So here we've got Hepra, Ferris wheel. These girls are chilling. And here's Heartland. Heartland still has some goo, and this is looking a little bit more legit. But she's eating breakfast. She has dropped. She's still not bagged out. You can see she's getting loose in the ligaments here. There's starting to be some separation. So, still going to be keeping an eye on her. That's for sure. Good morning, Sue. Being in Arizona, she seldom catches us live. Yes, well, glad you made it on this one. Good morning, Ashton. So Heartland certainly could be our first doe to deliver. We've got quite a few of the signs that we're going to be looking for, and we're seeing goo. You know, not the kind of goo we need to be seeing for delivery, but certainly could be the beginning of something. And let's climb over into this pen. Flaxseed. I don't remember which one. Alright, so over here, we've got our girlies. I'm not gonna lie, I have trouble telling flaxseed and squib apart. This is squib. You sure?
No.
Okay. Well, you said squib was shorter.
In my mind, she was.
and looked like Zinnia.
Who?
Zinnia.
I don't even know who that is.
Who'd you say?
Zetra. I said flaxseed was more sharp, like her color.
Flaxseed is more sharp.
Like look at her face.
So this is
That's flaxseed.
flaxseed. Okay, guys, I have them wrong. I can tell them apart. I just had them wrong. This is flaxseed. This is squid. So it's actually squid that I'm
I was wondering.
more interested in. It's actually squid that I'm more interested in. Good morning, Tintin. Good morning, Carol. Yeah.
Not like she is.
Alright, so Squib is who we're watching over in this pen. Her ligaments are quite loose. She's bagging up. Yeah. But we are not having kids right now. That's for certain. We've got minimum of hours, in my opinion, and I would probably be a little surprised if we had kids today. It's not looking like today, at least certainly not this morning. Shane says, hello, good morning to all at GMS. It is a good morning.
I didn't
So.
know yet, because I was going to want to know if Andrew was coming this morning.
So these are the girls. Do you guys have any questions or anything you wanted to see around the farm? Because there's not too much for me to watch this morning. So it kind of looks like Vasily is in heat, which would lend to the idea that she's not pregnant, which would be unfortunate. But that's something to watch and consider, that we might not be pregnant for Vasily. But yeah, our first fresheners are chilling. We're not seeing anything particularly exciting over here. You know, Squib has some of the early signs, but we're not seeing the completion of any of those signs. So it's just kind of, she's a first freshener. It's hard to make decisions based on those little things, but it certainly could be. And then Heartland over here is just being a little bit contradictory, if you will. Her ligaments are loose. She's dropped. Those are two signs that she's getting close. She's got goo. Another sign that she's getting close. But she's eating. Her temperament hasn't changed. She's not bagged up at all. So those would be 3 reasons that she's not moving anywhere or not anywhere close. So it just kind of goes back and forth. So definitely worth watching her and seeing where she progresses to, but I am not thinking she is actually that close. So while she could be the first to deliver, I certainly wouldn't be surprised at all if somebody else kind of comes up from behind and surpasses where she's at, because it's very easy to get to the stage that she's at. We're talking loose ligaments and a little bit of goo, a plug. Those are not incredibly strong indicators, but they are. But at the same time, they're some of the strongest indicators. So it's just a little back and forth. So we'll see. We'll keep watching her, as I will continue to keep watching all of them. But she will be a a main focus of who I spend some time with. Ooh. I'm a little bit tired this morning. So I talked a little bit about dropping. Zetra is a great example of a dough that has dropped, right? Look at the cavity here on the side, if you will. Yeah, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. She's got a nice deep cavity. Oh, she's coughing. So, pumping that up. But she's got a nice deep cavity. That's kind of an angle you can see it. There's a nice hollow right in here as she's dropped in preparation for the kids to be able to come up. I've said it a few times, but I'll kind of give it an example again. So for the baby to be able to come out, when goats have twins or triplets, which is very common for them, they're normally tucked right up here underneath the spine, kept protected, and then to go through the pelvis, we need to elongate the cervix and create the birth canal. So as the cervix, which is kind of like a scrunchie, if you will, like right back in here, begins to efface and dilate, it becomes thinner and it stretches and she drops, and that creates the birth canal, which starts up here and just kind of goes all the way down. What it does is it creates a space for the babies to come one at a time. Because if they're right up here next to the cervix, they can't come one at a time because there's two horns in the uterus, kind of like, so the uterus is shaped kind of like a heart. So you've got like the one side, here, and then you've got the other side here, right? And those two horns come to a point, and that point is where the cervix is. And so all the babies just kind of funnel right down into the cervix space. And if there's twins or triplets, two or three of them are trying to come out at the same time. And so the creation of the birth canal is very necessary. And I say creation of the birth canal, obviously there's always a little bit of a birth canal, but it becomes longer and stretches and becomes thinner and larger as she drops in preparation for delivery. So that's kind of what I mean by dropping when I say she's dropped. Sue says, good morning from Baltimore, Maryland. What's the temp in Baltimore, Sue? Is it still cold up there too? We got quite a bit of melting last night, which not like during the night, but yesterday, which was quite nice. We lost probably about half of the height of our snow and developed quite a bit of ice overnight. So most of the snow sunk and turned from a nice light powdery snow to very dense snow as it all melted. And now we're dealing with a pretty reduced amount. So that's where we're at there. The family is all back. Everybody is back. So today is the first day with everybody going into work for a little bit. So that's nice. We'll probably have some meetings scheduled and see what we can't do in preparations. Oh gosh, sorry guys. Had to get a big ol' yawn. And yeah, just kind of getting down into the nitty-gritty details of who's going to be helping in what regard through kidding season. So it's gonna be a good day. All right. Yeah, if nobody has any questions, then I'm probably going to go ahead and sign off here shortly. But I will stay on for a little bit longer so that you guys can ask away. So let me know what it is you'd like me to talk about. Because I feel like I'm repeating a whole lot of the same things over and over and over again, you know? So yeah, we've got a lot of chewing cud going on this morning, which is excellent. That's what we like to see. It means we're looking at good, healthy goats. Faye's over there. Faye has been acting a little weird. I've been watching her all morning. There's no reason to be watching her per se. And she's normally temperamental in the morning, so there's all that. But there's something just a little bit different about her temperamentalness this morning. So watching that and seeing what that means, again, could just be just having a bit of an interesting day. She could have slept badly, woken up on the wrong side of the hay, you know, all these different things. Also, these girls are using me as a scratching pole. So they like to scratch the top of their heads. A lot of times they'll do it on like the barn walls or like some of the poles or stuff, but nothing works quite as nicely as a human leg. So they'll just rub their heads up and down, getting that itch, scratching themselves, and they'll do this for hours, and your poor legs end up, and that's what's a little bit sore, but honestly it's a little bit nice when they do it lightly. It's kind of like a free massage, but then it's very repetitive and it becomes not so nice, and it becomes a little bit tender as they start to really put some weight behind it, because they'll start leaning in, and these girls are heavy right now. All right, well, I am going to go ahead and sign off. I want to say I'll see you guys in future videos.